Tune into Nice Radio every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. for A View from the Outside, hosted by Brereton Horne. A View from the Outside takes a look at key issues affecting St. Vincent and the Grenadines and gives a global perspective on how these issues are viewed. Host Brereton Horne will examine a variety of topics to enlighten, stimulate debate, and explore solutions. Hear the facts, hear the real-life stories, hear A View from the Outside. Join Brereton Horne at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday on Nice Radio for A View from the Outside.
On A View from the Outside this week being the 16th of February 2019, we look at reckless, R-E-C-K-L-E-S-S, reckless, with the view being that Vincentians need to do what is necessary to rebuff the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines from being reckless. The Cambridge Dictionary defines reckless as doing something dangerous and not worrying about the risk and possible results. And the Collins Dictionary states that if you say that someone is reckless, you mean that they act in a way which shows that they do not care about danger or the effect their behavior will have on other people. Those definitions tell us that someone who is reckless does not worry about risk. That person is willing to take risk at the expense of others. That person, in the way they act, does not exhibit care about how their behavior affects other people, whether in the short term or the long term. This week's view is triggered by an announcement which was made in the UK earlier this week. Amber Rudd, the Pensions Secretary, that is, the Minister of Government who has the responsibility for the portfolio to oversee pensions in the United Kingdom. She announced that her government, the Conservative government, has plans to introduce legislation to punish company bosses who are reckless with their employees' pensions. She warned company bosses that they could get up to 7 years in jail if their reckless behavior deny employees the benefits of their pensions. Here's an excerpt of what she said, and I quote, "I am going to make willful or reckless behavior relating to a pension scheme a criminal offense with jail terms of up to 7 years. We will also give the courts the power to levy unlimited fines. So if you run your company pension into the ground, saddling it with massive unsustainable debts, we are coming to get you." She further added, I quote, "If you gamble your employees' future on risky investments that put pensions at risk, we are coming to get you," unquote. That announcement by Amber Rudd has been welcomed by many, with some claiming that it was long overdue, especially taking into account the prominent examples in the UK of company bosses who have been shown to be reckless with their employees' pensions contributions, leaving many people with an uncertain future. It is with that in mind that we, on A View from the Outside, have decided to highlight, among other things, the pension situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. During the most recent budget presentation in the Parliament of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it transpired that the government has proposed to dip into the National Insurance Scheme, the NIS, the investment fund, to obtain equity of $10 million to build a hotel a government hotel at Diamond. The NIS, as many know, administers the contributions from employees and employers in respect of the pensions of employees. It therefore means that those contributions need to be invested with the greatest care to ensure that the pensions of employees remain safe and secure with the longevity to sustain the contributions, i.e., of the pensioners, the contributions of the pensioners, both in the short term and the long term. So when that announcement was made by the Minister of Finance during the government's budget presentation, it sent shockwaves throughout the country and beyond. Financial experts, including the former Prime Minister and Minister of Finance and the current Member of Parliament for the constituency of East Kingstown, the Honourable Arnim Eustace, said that the government is being reckless for proposing to dip into the equity of the NIS. These experts believe that by doing so, the government is putting the pensions of current and future pensioners at risk. They believe that the government would in fact be depleting the investment fund of the NIS. They believe that the government would in effect be gambling with the pensions of the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the reason for such belief, they say, is because when that money is taken as equity from the NIS, it means that the NIS will have zero returns unless the proposed hotel makes a profit. And it has been said that given the track record of this government, there is no telling when the proposed hotel will be completed, much less when and whether it will make a profit. They believe that the government's proposal is reckless because once such equity is taken from the NIS investment fund, it depletes the fund, and therefore, as long as no returns are made, that would have a severe knock-on effect on pensions. They believe that such recklessness on the part of the government is even more glaring when one takes into account the fact that the same government is complaining that they cannot sustain civil service pension because it is costing the government too much. It has also been mentioned that teachers and other public servants in the country have grave concerns with the government in respect of pensions. Everyone would probably remember that pensions is one of the key issues which the teachers union and the public service union say they are keen to discuss with the government when the government is willing to have such discussion with them. Many are concerned that the government has already exhibited the propensity to be reckless with the NIS contributions. Many will remember when they deducted contributions from employees and did not pay over those contributions to the NIS. When their dubious action was exposed, they then turned around and borrowed money from the NIS to pay the NIS. Everyone in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including those who are already receiving a pension from the NIS, those who are currently contributing to the NIS, and those who will be contributing in the future must pay attention. You must hold the government accountable for your pensions. You cannot sit by in silence and allow the government to get away with being reckless with your future. You cannot profess to be a progressive and raise issues only when they affect you, and then accept this reckless behavior from the government. You must ensure that the government is accountable to you. Like Amber Rudd said, our government is going to get the company bosses who are reckless with the future of their employees. You, Vincentians, need to let the government know that you will not put up with them being reckless. Otherwise, you will be coming to get them. In that same breath, look around the region and the world at the reaction of people who refuse to put up with any reckless behavior from their government. We, here on A View from the Outside, do not wish the current situation in Haiti to ever exist in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As everyone has seen, Haiti is again in turmoil, chaos, and disarray. Its people are protesting. They are calling for the resignation of the president, Jovenel Moïse, because they claim that the government is reckless and corrupt, especially when the evidence shows that nearly $2 billion of Petro-Carib money have been misappropriated. You, Vincentians, can and must hold the government accountable to you. Hold them accountable. Let's hold them accountable to us. Do not let them get away with any recklessness. Let them know that you are coming to get them if they are being reckless by lying to you and not divulging the true and accurate information about the situation concerning the existence of tuberculosis or TB in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let them know that you're coming to get them if they are being reckless by lying to you and not divulging true and accurate information about the shortage of medication in the country. Let them know that you're coming to get them if they are being reckless by targeting and harassing citizens, including bigger bigs, and preventing them from the peace and security and the quiet enjoyment of their property. Let them know that you're coming to get them for being reckless by not providing accountability for the Argyle International Airport in the way obligated or prescribed by the Constitution of the country. Let them know that you are coming to get them for being reckless with respect to accounting for Petro-Carib money. Let them know that you are coming for them, you're coming to get them for being reckless about the upkeep of school buildings and other public buildings throughout the country, which currently suffer from neglect and disrepair. Let them know that you're coming to get them for being reckless about the high rate of school dropout, despite their claim of an education revolution. Let them know that you're coming to get them for being reckless by their refusal to settle judgments and court orders which were made against their government, as in the case of Otto Sam, Marcus de Freitas, and the late Randolph Toussaint, who died a broken man without being compensated. Just to name a few, there are many more. Let them know that you're coming to get them for being reckless by wasting taxpayers' money, your money, on frivolous and vexatious appeals against the citizens of the country. Let them know that you're coming to get them for being reckless by acquiring lands from citizens and not paying for those lands. Let them know that you're coming to get them for being reckless when they incite and activate the state machinery and endanger the lives of citizens, including Yogi Farrell, by an abuse of power of the organs of the state. Vincentians, each and every one of us must play our part in demanding accountability from the government, who so far have been high-handed and reckless by not providing accountability, by not providing the accountability which is required of them. We, on A View from the Outside, say that as we all make those demands, let us do so peacefully and with fervor. Let us do so bearing in mind the words of Dr. Deshane Stokes, a renowned sociologist and author, who said, if you love your country, you must be willing to defend it from fraud, bigotry, and recklessness. Until next week, Randy, and all of the listeners, this is Brereton Horne with a view from the outside, with a reminder to send feedback. Send your feedback as usual to aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. That's aviewfromtheoutside@hotmail.com. We also invite you to look at our Facebook page, A View from the Outside. Look at the page, like the page, A View from the Outside. That's on Facebook. And also visit our YouTube channel at JMB Horne. Randy, all of the listeners, have a pleasant Saturday, a wonderful Sunday, and a productive week ahead, taking all steps necessary to prevent the government being reckless. All the best to you, Randy, and the listeners.